Trails Collective, time for FKT Friday! Thursday night, whenever I may post this. But let's get into it. All right, so these times I'm drawing from fastestknowntimes.com, a pretty awesome resource that has gotten a ton more traffic and attention this year with the cancellation of many of the formal events rather. And so these times, really, I think it's a metric of maybe some of those names and individuals who would be throwing down for podium spots in races this year. But also I think it reflects the, I guess, spirit of the trail and ultra community in terms of just being out there in the experience on your own, on the trails, exploring someplace new, or just running hard on someplace that's maybe an old favorite. So, and it's also, as I've mentioned in the past, a good opportunity to just learn about different places, different routes, and find some inspiration and connection to places outside of at least my own immediate bubble. So that's why I keep doing these, and again, hopefully, as I've mentioned before, some of you out there find equal inspiration and connection, and maybe go find and explore some of these places on your own. So, Connecticut, frequent flyer Debbie Livingston picking up 2 more, both in the same day with 1 hour 5 minute on the Tunxis Trail South Trail in one-way format as a baseline mark. And the 2.5 mile Finch Brook Trail in 24 minutes, 49 seconds, gain of over 2 minutes from the previous mark set in May of this year. And on a historical note, on the Finch Brook Trail, it indicates that Abraham Lincoln once walked the forest in that network. So hopefully Debbie had an overwhelming feeling of honesty while throwing down for those 24 minutes. And a impulse to pick up a top hat for the occasion. If not, Debbie, next round when you get out there, I expect to see photos of you in a top hat out on the Finch Trail. Robert O'Neill, 2 hours 53 minutes for the Pequot Trail, a baseline men's supported mark. In Maine, Daniel Bannon, 1 hour 14 minutes for the 10.3 mile scenic West Side Trail. Looks pretty just that, scenic, with nice views of, I think, a bay and crossing some bluffs. And this one's had some action this year, this being the 3rd mark for the male unsupported category and lowering the time by another 4 minutes this round. In New York, Tom Anderson laid down a 4 hour 2 minute new mark for the 50-kilometer Manhattan Loops male supported category. This is one that is still 19 minutes off of David Kilgore's flying self-supported mark from August of this year. In Virginia, Marissa Cummings covered the 18-mile Mount Vernon Trail in 2 hours and 15 minutes, a baseline supported women's mark. This is a route that Wardian submitted, and he described it as passing major sites including Iwo Jima, Washington Monument, the Capitol, Key Bridge, Mount Vernon, and Old Town Alexandria. That all sounds pretty sweet and an excellent route for anyone to head out for. And then also connecting, Dan Grip, thanks to reaching out. So Dan had just, Dan's had a pretty awesome year so far in terms of also FKTs. He's one that is, or would typically be in the mix of podium contention for some pretty cool and technical trail events in the Northeast each year. So without necessarily those in the mix, he says he has 12 on the year and on fire with 4 set in October alone, and in one case a big back-to-back weekend. And marks have included the Massachusetts Appalachian Trail, Circumquabbin, I don't know if I pronounced that right, Mount Toby and the Mohawk Trail, and the quintessential Connecticut staples including the 100-kilometer Metacomet and the Nipmuc Trail and several others. And mentioning this just because this also speaks to something I've mentioned in the past, which is some of the inconsistencies on the fastestknowntimes.com website is kind of baffling, and it really intrigues me because it just seems like it, well, for any of you who maybe have cycled through some of the results, which is probably not many of you out there, it's really odd. Like you'll have some results that just don't come up at all. Some that will appear on different or multiple pages. Some you'll go to one page, go back to look at the information, and it's no longer there. Some I cycled through pages and the result seems to similarly just like disappear. So I'm trying to catch it as best I can each week, But somehow, I think I've only caught like 1 or 2 of Dan's this year. So I must have missed like 10 or 11, which just leads me to believe that I'm missing any number of others as well. So for all of you out there who have set FKTs where I've just missed, just know that I'm trying to catch them. Some of it is just maybe it falls between when I film and the next round. But also I think it's really due to the inconsistencies and glitches within the FKT.com site, which again, I can't really explain. But in any case, nice work, Dan. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks to all of you for getting out there and for tuning in this week. So I don't know if I'll have another episode coming before the weekend. And if I don't, stay tuned. Check out some of our other pieces from the week. And I will check you next week. All right. See ya.